Welcome to another episode of the Vaughan Show. I'm your host, Vaughan. I'm here by myself today, and we're gonna get it cracking. Shout out to Sneaky Q. He'll be back next time. We all got lives and shit come up sometimes, so we're gonna hop right into it. Gucci Mane and Pooh Shiesty. Uh, is Pooh Shiesty not the world's dumbest crash out? Dumbest crash dummy. Whatever words you use to describe Pooh Shiesty, he's dumb. If you guys haven't noticed or don't know what happened between rappers Gucci Mane and his artist Pooh Shiesty back in late January, um, Pooh Shiesty's father reached out to Gucci Mane and his team to come to Dallas so they can settle some business, look at contracts, whatever. So Gucci and a few of his guys, few of his security team, go to Dallas. They go to the studio where they were supposed to meet at, and you see Pooh Shiesty, and all of this is on camera. You see Pooh Shiesty, his father, and like 4 to 5 other individuals with Pooh Shiesty go into the studio. A lot of them, it seemed like a few of them had on masks, a few of them had on all black, and Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Mane started talking somewhere in the studio. One thing led to another, and Gucci Mane and his security team got robbed. Not only did Gucci Mane get robbed, he was forced to sign a release for Pooh Shiesty. Pooh Shiesty presented a piece of paper that say, "I don't want to be signed to you no more. Sign this paper so I can get out of my deal." Gucci Mane signed it under duress, as he said a few times in his diss track, and Pooh Shiesty and his team left. Now, the Dallas police pulled up, got statements from RD and Roger Davis, aka Gucci Mane, and his 3 security guards. All of them provided a statement to the Dallas police. Now, what makes this case interesting and what makes Pooh Shiesty the world's dumbest criminal, first, and it's a lot of things that make this a whole dumbass shit. First, Pooh Shiesty, if you know anything about Pooh Shiesty, he's on probation. He just came home a few months ago, probably close to a year ago. He just came home from doing I think it was 3 to 4 years. Him and 2 of his partners got caught up with some street shit. They took a deal, and I think Pooh Shiesty got 3 or 4 years. Another guy got 6 or 7, then somebody else got some other time. But he's coming home. He's still on probation, federal probation for that. He has to wear an ankle monitor. So your parole officer, aka the United States federal government, knows where you're at 24/7 with your GPS ankle monitor on, sir. And you decide to do not only robbery, armed robbery, but kidnapping. Technically, when you pull a gun on somebody or force somebody to stay in a dwelling or a building or a room that they do not want to be in for an extended long of time period of time, that can be considered kidnapping. So not only was Pooh Shiesty had an ankle monitor on him, somebody that was with Pooh Shiesty had an ankle monitor on him as well. I thought the objective, the purpose, the reason to do crime is to get away with the crimes that you did. And if that's the reason, how the fuck did you think you was going to get away with this? Well, not only you having a tracking system yourself put you there, one of your co-conspirators has a tracking system on himself that puts him there. Not only that, we have security footage from the studio. Then, and this is where the FBI comes in because they're going to do all their research. This happened late January. It now is just coming to light because they just got picked up like a week ago for what happened in late January. They just rounded up everybody. So they let them go 2.5 months thinking everything was sweet just to get picked up. Not only did you have an ankle monitor on, Pooh Shiesty, not only did one of your friends have an ankle monitor on, y'all brought a rental car. Y'all got a rental car. And then used the rental car as one of the getaway cars. I don't even commit crime, and I know that was dumb as fuck. How do you get a rental car in your name? Hotel rooms in your name to go commit crimes. And the FBI has all of this footage, has the footage at the hotel, y'all checking in, the footage at the car rental place, y'all getting the car. Then y'all think y'all was doing something by reporting the car stolen. I just don't get it. Then you got Pooh Shiesty Daddy going, they got him at Staples exactly 2 hours at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, going to Staples to print off something. And we would think what he was printing off was his contract release forms for his son that they forced Gucci Mane to sign with a gun to his head, which Gucci signed that under duress. That is not going to hold up in any type of legal court, legal standing. He signed it under duress. That immediately is getting thrown out. Not only that, how it's sad. Pooh Shiesty threw his life away for what? And then, not only that, you threw the life of your friends away. The life of your friends are thrown away because they went behind you on this. Your father, you probably my age, Pooh. So your father got to be in his late 40s, early 50s. He about to be gone, technically, probably for the rest of his life until he died in jail. All over you wanting to be released from this contract, and Gucci Mane don't even got the power to release you, dog. Let me say that again. Gucci Mane does not have the power to release that man. Gucci Mane 1017 label is contracted through Atlantic Records. Atlantic Records basically owns Pooh Shiesty's masters. Your contract is with them. It's literally Gucci is just the middleman, just the person that signed you to the deal. But the deal came from Atlantic Records. So you still owe Atlantic Records, even, let's just play this out. Even if you was able to get Gucci to sign, not under duress, you didn't put a gun to his head or nothing, he just said, here, I sign it, I release you. You still owe contractually them albums to Atlantic Records. Because once they go out of Gucci, once they go after Gucci, what do you think he gonna do? Like, look, hey, go after him, yo. I don't got nothing to do with that. All of this was just for no reason, honestly. Really being a true definition of a fucking crash out. And then how do you bring your father? Like, nobody was the voice of reason. Nobody said, hey, let's slow down. I don't think contracts work like this. I don't think business works this way. We all done seen movies, TV shows where artists and their labels or artists and their managers is going at it, and they always use that threatening actions or beating them up. And that does nothing because that does not release you from your contract. You dumb motherfucker. And then people are mad at Gucci, is mad at Gucci for what? Because he released the diss track? Gucci gonna do what Gucci do. He gonna troll. What did you expect him not to troll? Especially when the news was released. And everybody's no, you got back down, yo. And what do you want? Honestly. And for you people that's in the street or that look like me and oh Gucci a rat, Gucci snitching, what do you want Gucci to do? Gucci is well worth over $100 million. Do you want him to get it back in blood? Like, do you want him to slide on Pooh Shiesty and slide on Pooh Shiesty family and get some get back in the streets? Are you fucking crazy? Like, how? When are we gonna move away from this street mentality in this culture? It does nothing. And then, how many times can people do something to let you know they're not street? They're not built for what comes with the streets. And I don't know if you're gonna take the stand or not, but hey, if you do take the stand, Gucci, you have my full support. You have my full support, Gucci. I look at you as a civilian now, um, and you have my full support. And if you don't know anything about Gucci Man's past, uh, him and Jeezy was beefing heavy in the street shit back in the early mid 2000s, and Jeezy sent some niggas at Gucci, and Gucci killed them. And that's the famous Pokey Loke, Pookie Loke. Fast forward to the early 2020s when the verses was happening. One of the most iconic verses was Gucci Mane versus Jeezy in Atlanta. And Gucci Mane stood on that stage and played that diss track to his dead homeboy, and Pooh Shiesty was there. Like, and everybody talks about how tense and how scary that room was that night because it could have just went left that quick. This is Gucci Mane was a real street guy, was a real street person. And a lot of people are disappointed, they're hurt, they're sad that Gucci Mane decided to do this diss track, which is he not supposed to get money? I'm gonna get money and troll off you. Yes. Why you locked up? More than likely for the rest of your life. More than likely, Pooh Shiesty is gonna be gone for the probably for the better part of 30 years. Honestly, you you committed armed robbery on federal probation. There's no way around this. You're gone. You're gone. And I don't feel sorry for you, honestly. I feel sorry for your kids if you got kids. I feel sorry for your mama if your mama's still out here moving and shaking. If you got sisters, because you were supposed to change the whole family, bro. You were supposed to change the whole lineage just from music. Figure it out. Go do shows until you can't do no more shows. Go do bookings. Fucking start be a screamer. Bring the hood street shit to screaming. That could have probably got you a few $100,000 right there, if not millions of dollars, if you parlayed it right. All I'm saying is, Pooh Shiesty, you had a lot of other choices but to do what you did. And you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. I just can't believe that everybody's talking about how Gucci is a snitch and how Gucci not a real street nigga no more. At what point do you want to be a real street nigga? Real street guys don't even want to be real street guys. If you think about it, and we see this over and over and over and over and over in movies and TV shows and in real life, once you start talking to people that was in that world and made that type of money. When drug dealers, when street guys make a lot of money, their mind switches from keep making this money to how can I completely be 100% legal? How can I leave the streets alone completely? How can I stop getting this dirty money? I want clean money. I want to be a taxpayer citizen. That is the whole end goal. If you talk to these guys that's really moving weight, that's really big drug dealers, that's really street guys out here, their whole thing is to not be street. It's ridiculous and it's sad. And it's trickling down to the young people in our culture. And I don't see how we move on from this type of toxic street life culture we have in our community. I honestly don't see how we're going to move past from that. And it's sad. It's sad, it's sad, it's sad. Now, moving on. God bless Gucci Mane and Pusheisty. And hopefully God will shine his favor and compassion and grace on them. And we're moving on to somebody that is showing a lot of forgiveness now for some reason. Kanye West. Oh, I'm sorry. Ye, formerly known as Kanye West. If you guys haven't been aware, he was supposed to perform at the Wireless Festival in the UK. That was until Pepsi pulled out, and a lot of other big sponsors pulled out to the point to where they canceled the festival. Not only did sponsors pull out, the UK Home Office, basically the State Department of the UK, told Kanye he could not come into Europe. He could not come into the UK. They would not allow him to enter into their country. Now, everybody knows where this stems from. This stems from his anti-Semitic remarks that he's been making for the past maybe year and a half, 2 years, maybe 2.5 years. Every few months, he'll say some crazy off the wall shit, then apologize, then go quiet, then say some more crazy shit, then apologize, then go meet with rabbis. And the Jewish community, and especially the Jewish community in Europe, was like, fuck you. No. We can have a conversation, we can forgive, we can heal, but we're not going to allow you to perform at the Wireless Festival this year. Because all of this looks performative. If you know Kanye West, it's performative. It's like that kid that's bad as fuck that can do anything he want to do, and then as soon as he bat his eyelashes and say he's sorry and put on a sad face, mommy is like, oh, okay, it's not that big of a deal. Here go some ice cream. Cheer up. I don't really fuck with him since he said the shit about slavery. Not only that, all lives matter in a time to where we knew all lives matter. That was never the whole premise. The premise was Black Lives Matter too. And at the height of that movement, he came out, all lives matter. Basically did a Lil Wayne. But I ain't going to talk about Lil Wayne right now. Then you did a whole interview with DJ Academics with a all black Ku Klux Klan outfit and saying, I'm trying to take back the image. In a black Ku Klux Klan outfit. Are you crazy? And now he's using the mental health. And all the years he denied having mental health problems. Now all of a sudden, when you're not getting booked, how are you supposed to get booked? When it don't matter how much time has passed, these people still will not forgive you. Now you're leaning on your mental healthness. And the most, I'm not gonna say crazy part, yeah, kind of crazy part. If we think about it, he just sold out SoFi Stadium in LA. I believe he was there for 2 nights. It was reported that he made $33 million from them 2 nights. I believe those was the highest nights of all time at SoFi Stadium. So clearly, people are still going out to support him. Clearly, he still has a massive fan base. Clearly, people still love him. But Kanye, your words hurt. And we would rather you get on some type of treatment, maybe not, just not just medication, but some type of treatment so you show up to the world how you will want to show up to the world, Kanye. Now, if you want to show up to the world and be manic and say crazy things and having to apologize all the time and having to miss out on deals and getting partnership and brand deals pulled from you, if that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do, dog. I don't really got no more to say about Kanye. Um, we all know he's a great artist, probably one of the greatest artists of our generation. He's a very, very troubled man. Um, and good for you. Good for you. I think black people in our community, maybe, I don't know why we're too forgiving, because we was way too forgiving to Kanye West when he said slavery was a choice, and he did that Ku Klux Klan shit. No, slavery was a choice, and all lives matter. He got low, and then he came out with the Sunday service shit. Then he came out with the gospel album, and bam, all is forgiven for black people. We just washed away everything he said. And good for the Jewish people for standing up for their community. And nobody can tell a community when it's time to move on past being hurt other than that community. We black people can't tell Jewish people, oh, you should move on. Kanye said he's sorry. How long are you going to be holding this over his head? For however long, that wound still hurts in that community. Just like Jewish people or white people or Hispanic people can't tell black people to get over something that hurt our community that still hurts us to this day. The only time we're going to get over it is when we want to get over it. But that was my little Kanye, my little like yay. Um, Chasing Reality. I don't know if you guys know about this series on YouTube called Chasing Reality. It's a LGBTQ series, and it has different cities where it's basically just like the real world, but with with people from the community. I was about to make a joke, but I don't think it's time to make a joke. So, people in the community. It's called Chasing Reality on YouTube. I'm currently on Chasing Reality Atlanta on a current season. And this season is good. It's good. It's real good. They have a few gay guys. Then they have two transgender women. And then they have one heterosexual woman. And her name is Althea. Beautiful chocolate girl. And it seems like Althea and one of the transgender girls don't like each other. Um, they're bumping heads. They've been bumping heads for a few episodes. And it seems like to me, at least to me, the transgender woman name is Nova. It seems like Nova is insecure about Althea. And not just Althea, but women, period. And Althea is just getting the heat is because Althea is around. She's the closest target. And it seemed like Nova has a problem with women. They did a episode where they had a pole class, a stripper pole class, and Gigi, the lady from Lip Service, Gigi was their teacher. So Gigi was there. She brung like two, three of her girlfriends, and they showed the guys how to do like different tricks on the pole and stuff. And Nova went on his confessional when he was asked why he wasn't there. He said, "Yeah, I didn't have time. I didn't have time to come there and around the girls, and I have my moose knuckles showing." And so when he said that, I'm like, "Bam, that's it, nigga. That's it right there, nigga. You are insecure because you didn't want to go around these women at the pole dancing class because out of your mouth you said your moose knuckle was gonna be showing." So that led me to the point where you don't like Althea, all because you're insecure about real women. And it's sad. And it seemed like when he said that, a lot of the other gay guys turned against her in the group for some reason. And Althea, and this chasing reality is boots on the ground. These people don't have money. These are regular 9 to 5 people that just chronicling their life in Atlanta. Um, so Althea don't have money like that. She's not well off. She struggles. She has kids, so she can't really do certain things. And she said that on one of the episodes, she felt like some of the girls or some of the gay guys up there was mistreating her because maybe she couldn't afford certain things that everybody else could afford. Um, so she was already hesitant with the group dynamics off of that. Then you have other people coming to take Nova's side over Althea, even though Nova was completely in the wrong. But yeah, it's a good show. It's called Chasing Reality Atlanta. It shows dynamics between straight women and gay guys, straight women and trans women. And it's really an informative, good show if you like reality. So check that out. It's called Chasing Reality Atlanta. I believe it's this season is season 7. So check out season 7. Now, I'm going to get into some Virginia shit. Some Virginia shit. Some shit was happening, been happening. First, I'm gonna get the good news out first, and then we're gonna start going into a little bit of heavier topics. First, Governor Abigail Spanberger signed into a law a new minimum wage for the state of Virginia. So the effective rate right now for the minimum wage in Virginia is $12.77. $12.77. That is the current minimum wage in Virginia. She signed into law increase starting January 1st, 2027. And that increase is going to be from $12.77 to $13.75. So basically like a 98-cent raise. Then January the 1st, 2028, that $13.75 goes to $15 an hour. So $1.25. So by 2028, the state minimum wage in Virginia would be $15 an hour. Now, just to paint that picture, it is higher than the federal minimum wage, which is still at $7.25 an hour. Now, shout out to Governor Spanberger for signing this law and making Virginians a priority. This is what she said when she signed it in. She said, "We are putting more money in the pockets of the Virginians who power our economy and charting a brighter, more affordable future for families who call the Commonwealth home." So thank you again, Governor Spanberger. Just a little topic on that. How first of all, and all the studies from the Office of, I think the Office of Government Studies or something like that with the Department of Labor. I believe Oxford, I believe UCLA, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Yale did research on the real minimum living wage in this country recently. And all of their estimates is above $20 an hour for somebody to make a livable wage in this country. Above $20 an hour. So while we're seeing increases on the um, state level for minimum wage, we need to see a greater increase to keep up with inflation and keep up with cost of living. Because by the time 2028 gets here and the state minimum wage for Virginia will be $15 an hour, shit, that'll probably shoot up to a real livable wage in this state. Will probably have to be $22 to $23 an hour. So it's still a big gap of $7 to $8 that we will still need to even make a livable wage in this state. Some of the I seen what people said on Twitter under her post and on Facebook, and I'm just going to talk about two statements. One statement was, "This will only hurt small businesses and raise prices for the consumer, but you already knew that. That's why you did it." So let me tell you something. To all the small businesses out there, I'm a small business myself. I support, promote small businesses. But if your business is so small that you cannot pay the state minimum wage for your employees, then you shouldn't have a business or you shouldn't have employees. You do it for free. You get your husband or your wife or your kids to work for free. Because for you to say, I can't pay my workers the state's minimum wage because I'm a small business, then maybe you shouldn't be in business. And I know some people's going to be upset with that, but I mean, these people have to live. Your employees have to live and make, I'm not saying they have to be millionaires, but they should at least make enough to live and provide for their family. And if the only reason why you don't want to pay them is because you're a small business and maybe you can't afford it, then maybe you need to change your business. You need to adapt with your business. Because people taking scraps, no more. Then somebody said, well done. You obviously never ran a business. Minimum wage goes up equals hiring drops. It's called economics, you moron. This is my thing. And I could agree with that point. When you raise minimum wage, a few companies may not post as much jobs. But that's because it's their companies that want to keep getting all of them profits. Not because they could not afford to hire a few more people, because they could afford it. They just don't want to cut into their profits. Goes again to my previous statement. You said, well done. You obviously never ran a business. Minimum wage goes up, hiring drops. It's called economics, you moron. So, should minimum wage never change so jobs can stay the same? I mean, so job growth can grow? Under your logic, that's what it is. Well done. You obviously never ran a business. Minimum wage goes up equals hiring goes down. So should we keep the minimum wage low? Like what are we really talking about? And these are the same people that rant and rave about big business and the 1% and how the 1% is killing this country and big business, big business, big business. But then when a governor tries to actually look out for her citizens, is, oh, well, what about my small business? adapt. And this is not a drop dead, you have to pay this now. It's going in increments a year. Next year, you'll only have to pay 98 cents more per hour for each one of your employees. If you can't manage, if an extra dollar to your employees' hourly paycheck, hourly rate, if $1 is so much that you can't add $1 to your employees' hourly rate, then I just said you're not doing good business. You're gonna have to figure out some way to cut. Moving on. Now, I see from my last podcast about the youth pastor, DeQuayne Hill, is now starting to get more traction. Wavy TV 10 picked it up. And I'm not saying that's for me, but maybe it's from what I've been doing, and I'm gonna keep speaking out. And I take that. On Nasty Motherfuckers, we got another story about a local pervert. Ex-firefighter in Newport News faces prison time for sexual abuse and coercion. A former Newport News firefighter pleaded guilty on March the 25th to produce sexual abuse material, coercing a minor to engage in illegal activity. Alex Taylor Buenga, 32, admitted to recording himself sexually abusing a 3-month-old infant on a dozen occasions. You nasty fucker. When is enough enough? And when are we going to start changing these people? Permanently changing these people? Because clearly they can't get help. Let me say this again. Alex Taylor Buenga, 32, admitted to recording himself sexually abusing a 3-month-old infant on dozens of occasions. The plea follows a January 2025 arrest by the FBI. The FBI, Violent Crimes Task Force, agents located Buenga at his home in Suffolk. Jesus, you never know where these sexual deviants live. You never know where these sexual deviants is going to pop out and do something to you or your kids. After receiving an emergency tip regarding the distribution of illicit videos on the Telegram messaging application. So, the plea follows a January 2025 arrest by the FBI Violent Crimes Task Force agents located Buenga at his home in Suffolk after receiving an emergency tip regarding the distribution of illicit videos on the Telegram messaging application. So, not only you sick SOB were you sexually abusing a 3-month-old baby. Not only were you sexually abusing a 3-month-old baby, you was recording yourself, and not only that, you was selling child porn videos on Telegram. You was selling your disgusting, nasty ass videos on Telegram to other disgusting, nasty ass sexual deviants that needs to be changed. During the investigation, authorities arrested Ryan Wade Johnston, 45, of Virginia Beach, Investigator found the abuse began in October 2024. According to court documents, Buanga recorded himself sexually abusing the infant more than 90 times. This man needs to have an in-person conversation with God immediately. You raped a child, a 3-month-old baby, over 90 times and recorded the rapes and you sold the videos on Telegram. How sick of a demon are you? On at least one occasion, he recorded himself blowing methamphetamine smoke into the infant's face. He's blowing meth into a 3-month-old infant face. Let me say that again. He's blowing methamphetamine into a 3-month-old face that he's sexually abusing, and then selling those sexually abusing videos to other sexual demons on Telegram. And this is supposed to be a firefighter. This is supposed to be somebody that we look up in our community, that we look up to in our community. This is supposed to be somebody that is supposed to be a good role model for kids. Firefighters are safe haven destinations for babies. For parents that want to give up babies, firefighters are the safe haven destination. So I can just imagine if somebody turned in a baby at his firehouse, what did he do if he was alone with that baby? Nasty son of a bitch. Court records find that Buanga invited motherfucker. Court records find that Buanga invited others to his home to smoke methamphetamine and to participate in the abuse of a 3-month-old baby. And this is supposed to be a firefighter. And this is supposed to be somebody that we look up to in our community. And he's sexually abusing a 3-month-old baby. And not just sexually abusing the 3-month-old baby. He is smoking methamphetamines and blowing the smoke in the 3-month-old baby face. Not only that, he's sexually abusing this 3-month-old baby, and he's recording the sexual abuse and selling the videos on Telegram to other sexual demons in the area. And we supposed to work with these people? We supposed to live next to these people? We supposed to go to school with these people, go to church with these people? It's fucking disgusting. And Alex Taylor, Buanga, and Ryan Wade Johnson is nasty as fuck, and they need to be put on blast. Court's records state that Buanga invited others to his home to smoke methamphetamine and participate in the abuse. Johnston, 45, faced several federal charges related to the case. He is charged with the production and the receipt of child sexual abuse material. Johnston was charged with the production and the receipt of child sexual abuse material. So, the production of it. That means you actively took place in an abuse of a child, or you recorded the abuse of a child, and then you had videos sent to you of child and children being sexually abused by Buanga, and who God knows who else was sending you child sexual abuse videos. As well as the possession of such material and the coercion and enticement of a minor. A bench trial for Johnston's is set for January the 15th. Buanga is set to be sentenced on September the 22nd. He faces a mandatory minimum of 15 years in prison and a maximum sentence of life plus 60 years. A federal district court judge would determine the final sentence after reviewing the U.S. sentencing guidelines and other statutory factors. He needs to be permanently changed. He needs to have an in-person conversation with God. That's the only way you're going to fix Alex Buanga and Ryan Wade Johnston. That's the only way you're going to fix these two and whoever think likes them. It's a sad world. You look at somebody like Alex, and he was a firefighter for the Newport News Fire Department. So he was a firefighter for the Newport News Fire Department. How many school demonstrations did he go to? How many times did kids have elementary school field trips to the fire station and he let a kid sit on his lap? This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And you're trying to tell me that these people are less dangerous than drug dealers. And I'm not saying nothing about drug dealers. It's against the law, and you need to be held accountable for what you're doing as well. But we cannot look at drug dealers and scammers as scum of the earth, and these people get less time than drug dealers. You can get more time for selling weed, crack, or cocaine than you can get for touching a kid or doing something or taking something from a woman. We have to change these laws in this country. It's going to be hard to change these laws because if you look at our president, even the most powerful people in this world is getting held accountable all over the world. Princes is getting their royalty stripped away and is getting arrested. Presidents and prime ministers of other countries are stepping down. Queens and kings and princesses and princes, kids and sons of other countries are getting held accountable for what they did in the Epstein files. We're one of the only countries that haven't prosecuted not one person and will not prosecute not one person. It's sad. Sad, sick, however you want to say it. Now we're going to move on. 1 arrested, 2 wanted in connection with Virginia Beach Oceanfront shooting. Oh my God. When is enough going to be enough? First, when it first got hot in Virginia and the oceanfront got back popping because it's hot, I believe 6 people were shot on the same type of altercation and interaction of this latest video I'm out to report. 2 different groups of young adults and juveniles. 2 different groups of young adults and juveniles got into an altercation with each other, and then somebody somewhere out of one of the groups pulled out a gun. Another person from another group pulled out a gun and started shooting at each other. And of course, these motherfuckers don't got aim. So 6 people got hit. I don't believe nobody died, thank God, but 6 people got hit. Then, fast forward, a few weeks after that incident, it was a car meetup in Virginia Beach, and the story is still shaky because a lot of people ain't talking, but from what I heard, allegedly, somebody was open carrying a firearm out there at the car meet. I guess they got into an altercation with somebody else, and somebody tried to take somebody's gun, and it just went left from there. And I believe a few people were shot at that car meet in Virginia Beach. Now, to the response of that first incident on the oceanfront with them 6 young people got shot. The Virginia Beach Police and the Virginia Beach City Council instituted a curfew. I believe it's 8 p.m., 7 or 8 p.m. If you're a juvenile and you're caught out on the oceanfront after 7 or 8 p.m. without a parent or legal guardian with you, you can be charged with trespass. And if you keep getting caught, I was told that they're going to hold your parents accountable. So Virginia Beach instituted a curfew after the first shooting on the oceanfront. Then, with the car meetup, after that happened, the Virginia Beach Police Department went around to businesses and strip malls, where a lot of these car meetups be happening, and the Virginia Beach Police talked to a lot of business owners and asked them, could we enforce the no trespassing on this property? And the business owners are all for it. So now, Virginia Beach Police is all out in full effect with these car meets at a lot of places now. You can't do a car meet. You will get trespassed, and then after you've been trespassed once, you come back there, you're going to go to jail. That led into what happened 2 days ago on the oceanfront, where another 8 people were shot because of 2 unidentified groups of young adults and juveniles got into an altercation with each other and started shooting at each other on the oceanfront. And it's not even summer yet. It just started to get hot in Virginia. It's literally just starting to warm up. The weather is really just changing right now, April the 10th or April the 14th, wherever we're recording this is at, on what day. The weather is now just starting to break. How? And how do we combat this? Let me read what happened. One arrested, 2 wanted in connection with Virginia Beach Oceanfront shooting. 1 person has been arrested and 2 are wanted in connection with a shooting on Atlantic Avenue in Virginia Beach Saturday night. At approximately 9:50, Virginia Beach police officers responded to a spot shot activation and the sounds of gunfire in the 1400 block of Atlantic Avenue. Upon arrival, officers located 8 people with gunshot wounds. They were all taken to area hospitals. The injuries range from non-life-threatening to serious, but everyone is expected to survive, according to officials. According to homicide detectives, it was determined that 2 unrelated groups of young adults and juveniles began shooting at each other after an altercation escalated. Detectives determined that at least 3 suspects exchanged gunfire. Suspect 1, Jemiah Williams, 18, of Henrico County, Virginia. Arrested and charged with aggravated assault, ×7, use of a firearm in the commission of a felony, ×7, reckless handling of a firearm with injury, ×7, and violations of a protective order, ×3. She's 18 years old, and I think all of these are felonies. Aggravated assault, ×7, use of a firearm in the commission of a felony, times 7. Reckless handling of a firearm with injury, times 7. Suspect 2, Isaiah Charity, 18, of Richmond, Virginia, has outstanding warrants for aggravated malicious wounding, times 8. Use of a firearm in the commission of a felony, times 8. And reckless handling of a firearm with injury, times 8. Suspect 3, unidentified male, black, dark colored hoodie with possible red lettering on the back. The 7 other victims were identified as follow: a 24-year-old female of Chesterfield, Virginia, an 18-year-old male of Lancaster, Virginia, a 20-year-old male of Lancaster, Virginia, a 17-year-old female of Portsmouth, Virginia, a 17-year-old male of Richmond, Virginia, an 18-year-old male of Richmond, Virginia, and a 20-year-old female from Chanelville, Georgia. Now, this is the fucked up part about this. Everybody except for one person is not from the 757. If you think about it, the first suspect is from Henrico County. I believe that's somewhere near Richmond. The second one is from Richmond. Second suspect 1, Jemiah Williams, is from Henrico County. Suspect 2, Isaiah Charity, is from Richmond. And then the victims, Chesterfield, Lancaster, Portsmouth, Richmond, and Chanelville, Georgia. The only victim from the 757 is from a Portsmouth person, a Portsmouth female, 17 years old. Everybody else don't even live in the 757 area. More than likely, they was down here for spring break. So now, Virginia Beach is about to go to a whole different level and have so many different guidelines and restrictions of what you can and can't do on the oceanfront. All because young juveniles and young adults that are not even from here don't know how to fucking act. And that's what it is. It's kids that don't know how to fucking act. And a lot of them have fucking weapons on them, which is, it's mind-boggling that these 17, 18, 16-year-old kids is having guns, and not only having guns, they're literally having shootouts. Niggas are scared to fight, which is crazy. I done lost fights, I done won fights. Nigga, I done got punched in my face, and I done punched somebody in the face. It all comes with the game. It's a part of the game, nigga. These young kids are scared. Scary. And I couldn't be a judge because these suspects, they gone. I ain't giving nothing less than 10 years. Nothing less than 10 years. Nothing less than 10 years for these crimes. Because you couldn't control your anger. You couldn't walk away. 8 people were shot. And these are 8 young people. They could have been paralyzed. They could have actually died. And you had no care on that. And honestly, I don't want to be around people that are careless like that. The thing that scares me the most is a tough, dumb guy. Let me say it again. The thing that scares me the most is a tough, dumb guy. You tough. You so tough. You gonna pull it. You gonna shoot somebody. You gonna kill somebody. But you have no type of use of brain power. You have no type of logic, no type of understanding, no type of nothing. I don't want to be around them people. Whether they're 16, 17, 18 years old, whether they're my age, whether they're older, I don't want to be around crash out and crash dummies. And crash out and crash dummies come in all shapes, sizes, and ages. I want to tell you the fucked up part about it, this whole thing. And this is the real fucked up part about it, yo. During the course of the investigation, the Virginia Beach Police Department officers stopped and arrested Jamari Savage, a 21-year-old man from Chesapeake, Virginia, who was illegally possessing a concealed firearm. Virginia Beach Police Department officers charged Savage with possession of a concealed firearm and seized a 9mm handgun. Upon further investigation, it is not believed that Savage was related to the shooting. So my man Jamari Savage got caught up in some shit and he ain't even had nothing to do with it. He was just a regular type guy, a regular type guy that had a weapon on him that more than likely, it's legal for you to be over 18 and buy a handgun in the state. It was illegal for him to conceal it. Now, he had nothing to do with it, but he got stopped and he got charged with possession of a concealed firearm. Dang it. You see what happens when a block gets hot? When the block gets hot, motherfucker, anybody can get caught up in the dumb shit and the madness. What are we doing? How can we fix this? And I just don't. Look, we need to figure out something to do with this generation. And everybody always say the next generation is always complaining about, oh, this is the worst generation until the next generation comes. But I have never seen so many kids that have guns and weapons that A, don't know how to shoot them, 2, don't even know how to clean them, and 3, are not even built for the type of anguish and PTSD and demons and all that spiritual baggage that comes with unaliving people. And then when these people get caught, they're telling on any and everybody and their mama to get away from charges. And it be some of your most toughest killers, your most toughest game bangers and big bloods and big crips. And when they get behind these doors in these interrogation rooms, they're snitching worse than fucking Gunna. They're snitching worse than fucking 6ix9ine. And I don't know how in 2026 people are still going to the streets for anything, are still street active. The times, the Supreme teams back in the 80s and the Black Mafia families and the Big Meech and all these niggas having it for years at a time and doing it millions and millions of dollars at a time, that time is gone. Because the feds gonna come get y'all before you get to that point because motherfuckers are snitching. And you just wasted your whole life, dog. And we need to do something with the community. And I don't know. I don't have the answer and the be all end all because I honestly don't know. But I know something's got to change with these kids. And it ain't just because of the jobs. And I be hearing people say that. I'm like, oh, well, the kids don't have no jobs. Man, these kids don't want to fucking work. Let's just call a thing a thing. These niggas, man, my first job was Panera Bread. These people, these young people, some of them feel like they too cool to work at McDonald's. They too cool to work at Panera Bread or just a job to get their foot into the workforce. They don't want to make money like that. They want to flip. They want to scam. They want to ask somebody, can they see their phone to call their mama in the parking lot? Or my car broke down and I need to call AAA. And while that good Samaritan is letting you use their phone, You are transferring money from Cash App and Zelle and all of these other shits. But you don't want to clock in at a job, but you want to do that. You want to sell weed. Motherfucker, try to find out a way to sell weed legally. It's legalized in Virginia now. It ain't started selling. We ain't started selling weed. But by the first January 1st, 2027, you'll be able to walk into a store or order weed online in Virginia and get it shipped to your house. You need to be figuring out the pivot, my man. The pivot. Because the streets are not it. And the niggas that's telling you, the men that's telling you, or the women that's telling you that the streets is it, you get away from them people, yo. Because I have never seen people really defeat the streets. People that even made it out with their lives, they are still scarred. They lost family members. They lost friends. They lost shit that money can never buy back. Y'all gotta tighten up, man. And I don't know. I don't know what's gonna help y'all. I really think it starts from the household. What are you learning from your parents and the people that's around you in your environment? A lot of the times, it's not who we are; it's what we was raised to be in our environment. And the first stop of that goes back to our first topic of the day, and we're gonna wrap it up at this point. But Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Mane. For some reason, our culture loves this street life and just living by this street code and how you never supposed to tell. It's just weird to me. And it's getting passed down from generation to generation to generation. And people want to be like Young Dirk, Lil Durk, and King Vaughan, and Thug, and Slat, and all of this shit. But you see what these people are doing. King Vaughan lost his life. Lil Durk looked like he ain't never coming home. Young Thug, we saw what he was doing when he got behind the wall. Nigga, pillow talking and being a chatty patty ass nigga to his bitch about everything. Hopefully one day we'll wake up, man. Hopefully one day we'll wake up. That was it. I just had to get some few topics off my chest and you know, come speak to the people. Come speak to the people. Thank you guys for tuning in with us. The socials, Vaughan TV. Make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you like this video, and you comment. I need the engagement. I love interacting with our fans on TikTok and IG, and I need TikTok and IG, and I need YouTube to pick it up. I need you to pick it up. So please put a comment on this video, and share it with somebody. The Vaughan Show on IG and Twitter. The Vaughan Show on IG and Twitter. Make sure you follow the pages. You interact with our promo clips. You get in on the discussion on the ground floor before we take off. And I may not be able to get to the thousands of comments once we get to that point. So at least now, if you get it on the ground level, I remember you. And then I converse with you like that. The Vaughan. That was the Vaughan Show. IG and Twitter. IG and TikTok. Vaughan TV, of course, on YouTube. My personal links. Vaughan with 2 underscores. Vaughan with 2 underscores. That's on IG, TikTok, and Twitter. Vaughan with 2 underscores on IG, TikTok, and Twitter. Make sure you check me out there. The quote of the day. The art of not being ready and doing it anyway will take you so far. The quote of the day: the art of not being ready and doing it anyway will take you so far. The art of not being ready but doing it anyway will take you so far. That's the quote of the day. The joke of the day is, I seen Ocho say it, so I thought it was very hilarious. So I'm running back. If if a man is gay, if a man is gay, how can he sleep straight for 6 hours? Let me say that again. If a man is gay, how can he sleep straight for 6 hours? And I know that's stupid, yo. But when I heard Ocho say that shit, I had busted out laughing, yo, because it's funny to me. I like that shit. It's funny to me. What we got today? What we got today? Outro. Uh, go back to one of my old favorites. I see you got dog food in the cabinet, but you ain't got no dog. The dog under the bed, motherfucker. You better be lucky he ain't bite your ass when you came in. You the dog, motherfucker. We out, yo. Thank y'all for tuning into another episode of the Vaughan Show. I'm your host again, Vaughan. We're gone.